Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, today we are going to discuss a very important topic related to health, inshallah. That uh, what is the stress of the heart and the mind, and why stress spreads in the heart and the mind. Because of this stress, big diseases happen, such as blood pressure, thyroid, blood sugar, heart diseases, stroke, etc. Two things we have to remember. One is to reach the qulub, because then you'll be able to do your uh, islah and the treatment of it. Once you've reached, inshallah, the qulub, you'll be able to treat the diseases of the nafs. And second is the disease, which are of two kinds: the body, diseases of the body, and spiritual diseases. Our topic in general is to fix the spiritual diseases, but both are interlinked and they have a lot of overlap. Somebody can be a very pious man with a lot of good qualities, but can suffer from blood pressure, and as a result, he will have less of comfort. He will not be able to sleep well. There will be palpitation, and can even lead to a heart attack. So you have to handle both your spiritual disease as well as the bodily diseases. And cardiovascular, so you have to look at the cardiovascular fitness as well as the spiritual fitness as well. In general, it is seen that the diseases of the body can still be a rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if the diseases of the ruh are present, then with spiritual diseases the destination becomes Jahannam. Today we are going to talk about stress. You see, the brain controls the whole body, and the mind has a very big role in controlling the brain. Unfortunately, the brain does not know a lot of things. For example, the brain is used for thinking, for learning, for experiencing things, for feeling, and the conscious part of the brain is used to be able to handle these things, as well as the autonomic part of the brain, which controls your breathing, your gut functions, your heartbeat. All of these things are happening by themselves. Your kidney filtration, and so on. Is there anyone telling it? No. And through the information of the senses, the unconscious part of the brain also begins to function, and that also governs the brain. The world that we see and we absorb through the senses reaches the brain. When you see something, you smell something, you taste something, you feel, and all of these are picked up from the senses and they reach the brain. And the brain spreads this message to the whole body. For example, when the taste is good, you want more of the same, and you want more of the same food, and now that is spreading the message throughout the body. Similarly, when you look at pictures or there is a sound, then the brain functions and the muscles are told to act in a certain way. If there is a lot if there's a lot of impact, then the heartbeat becomes fast. So you and it is seen that if you give the brain negative things and things that the brain is not comfortable accepting, then and the body are not able to handle it well, and that leads to negative thoughts and so on. So we have to become more positive. We have to inculcate the habit of being positive, inshallah, because the body cannot take negative things. And for example, when we speak, we should try and talk in a way which is sweet for the other person to hear. Our beloved Prophet ﷺ had the sweetest of tongues. When he would talk, it felt like there were pearls dropping in the way that he spoke. My father's Sheikh Maulana Inamul Hasan Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi, when my father spent a lot of time with him, he said that when he would talk, you would almost feel like kissing the words that were coming out of his mouth, because that's the kind of sweetness Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has had blessed them with. May Allah forgive us. I mean, the body cannot handle these negative things that come out of it, and the lack of which results in the lack of peace, comfort, afia, and all of these things go away, and as a result, the adrenal glands come into play, and they become weak. You see, the kidney has two glands present on them each, which is the adrenal gland, and when there is emotional stress, it releases adrenaline, and that increases the heartbeat. As a result, the blood pressure becomes high, and with repeated stress, this transforms into a disease. Therefore, we are telling you that you protect your five senses, your what you see, what you hear, what you're thinking, and so on. You have to try and stop thinking, but it's difficult because without the Nur Iman in the heart, one finds it difficult to stop thinking. There was a patient that my father who used to come to my father, and he was a successful businessman and a man of the dunya, subhanallah. He said that I wish I could put a revolver to my temple and just shoot it, because I just cannot stop thinking. So we have to stop thinking. You have to relax, empty the mind, filter it. This is mentioned in the heart chart, the circle areas around the heart, that don't think too much. Samiyana atana. You must just listen and obey, inshallah. That don't think too much, because with that a lot of work gets left. You have to try and complete your 8 hours of sleep. But unfortunately, without Dindari, without Nur Iman, where will the peaceful sleep come? And inshallah, that will be possible when we do Tawbah Istighfar and purify the heart, the mind, inshallah, by doing that. All of us, unfortunately, consider ourselves to be very Dindar, but it is only through our life through which we will get to know the real situation. But we have to try and become an extremely pious and a person whose life is on Deen, inshallah. Doing the ibadah of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala through zikr, through tilawah, and trying to absorb the nur through reading the rood. We have to try and absorb it. We have to try and absorb the peace, the tranquility, using this. And in terms of food, try not to consume heavy food. Prefer light food. And think that how should I enter light food into my system? Because these organs are not made of steel. They're not made of platinum. They're made of meat. They are fragile. Now, we as Muslims, we try and put the most excessive of food inside the system. May Allah protect us, inshallah. Now, how are diseases born? It is the same stress. The mind and the body, it builds up stress, and this builds up pressure. Sometimes it can also be because of the environment, and which will result in the increase in your blood pressure, your sugar. Sometimes it is because of lack of sleep, excessive entertainment. We want more and more entertainment. If it is Islamic in nature, inshallah, that should not be a problem. But the excessive entertainment should not become the addiction. Exercise, sometimes in excess, sometimes less, both are a problem. Food, which is food and stress, of course, will be the biggest reasons for more build up of pressure. There is also emotional setbacks, emotional depressive things, which can also lead to your blood pressure becoming high, which as a result can cause heart attacks, and strokes. So we have to try and bring ourselves back to moderation. We have to bring it to a mean balance where we can, where the quality of our life becomes better, how we stay, what our interactions are, and so on, and that all work is done on time. We have to become more disciplined. We should not waste too much of time. This is a limited time given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We must put it to work and not waste it on WhatsApp and social media, etc. Because if there is a lot of pressure built on the mind, then diseases will come, and you will see that the internal rhythm. You have to see the internal rhythm. You Very often people have heart attacks on roads. That is because of the lack of the inside knowledge. They don't know. I mean, they have been running like a majnu in a certain way. They've just been going on that path without realizing what is happening on the inside. They have limited knowledge of the internal rhythm. And after a long period of time, when you continue without thinking about the internal rhythm, you end up having a stroke. So you have to know your internal rhythm. Every man should check the state of the inside. Inshallah, we will continue to record a few lectures on health. My father had actually made a company years back called Health and Soul Publication, so that we can keep discussing the issues of the health as well as the soul, inshallah. Please take out 5 to 7 minutes each day and go to darulqulub.com. There will be there are things available in Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, inshallah. You must take out some time. You will find something relevant for yourself, inshallah, summa inshallah, which will be of benefit. And inshallah, you can also let others know about it. And inshallah, we will be sending in more recordings. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.